Okay, day 431 off the grid. Almost doesn't seem like it. It's amazing how fast we're chewing through March. The equinox is bearing down, and although it's still pretty warm in here during the day, starting to feel the chill in the air full on now as autumn approaches outside at night. I haven't made a video in here for a while. I thought I'd do it now, saves me having to write it up. Quite busy today, did 3 shows. I pre-taped a Doggo Shift show for tonight that's going to actually be broadcast in literally 5 minutes, and did a live metal show. I did just a live normal sort of music show that I do, the 80s music and stuff, at 3 o'clock. I did that as well, and Amon did a couple of announcements. But the reason why I'm making this video is because I did a couple of technical things. First of all, there's been issues with the TAC noise reduction unit, which I actually use as a buffer amp. What it does is it takes a signal from the radio desk here and gives me 2 independent outputs. One gets fed through a transformer to the gear over here, which heads off to the transmitter, and the other one comes down a wire which is over there, which I plug into the laptop, and they're completely independent. So I can record the show while it's being broadcast, or I can do, using these switches over here, I can do offline broadcasts as well. And it reminds me, I better just put the desk offline. But sometimes this little switch here gets a bit faulty, and when it does, it drops out the right channel, so you lose some of your level, because we're of course mixing to mono. And you fiddle with that and it comes back, but it did it by itself today while I was doing one of these shows, and I didn't like that, so I thought I'd open it up, and I thought I'd just hardwire the switch to be in that position. But obviously when I had it open last time to check it out, I didn't really pay too much attention to that switch because it didn't concern me greatly, and I just thought it was a double pole slide switch, but it turned out to be a 4-pole slide switch. So I didn't really want to start shifting a whole lot of wires around, and they're very tight in there anyway. Even though this is not on a board or anything, it's all flying leads which connect to these switches, but still. So I did the next best thing. While I had the case open, I poured some methylated spirits from a teaspoon down into the switch and flicked it, up and down a few times, and it's just really dirty contacts. The switch itself looks in good nick, so I think that's actually solved it. So that's pretty cool. So that was the one thing I did, and I do feel more secure about the TAC unit now. It's from the early 70s. In fact, I've got an electronics magazine that's got an ad for this in it, and it's pretty old. I think I've covered that before, but I did some work on that today. And the other thing I did was I got around to actually improving the output configuration on this broadcasting amplifier, which we use for mic mixing. So the announcer's mic comes in through channel 4, and the guest mic comes in channel 1, which is Amon's mic basically. But the problem was, I was taking an output from this TRS socket here, and it was basically being plugged directly into a mic input on that little radio desk. And because of that, I had to run the master extremely low. Well, it looks quite low now, but it was not even on 1. And the problem with that was that this master is actually before the output amp inside this thing. So if you turn this down really low to get a low output, you've still got all the noise of the output amp at a certain level. So there was a bit of extra hiss. It wasn't unworkable, but it was a bit annoying. I knew I could do better than that. It was also a little bit of hum. So I solved both those problems today with an idea that I've been wanting to do for ages. And here it is. It's another one of these Toshiba transformers. These are wonderful transformers. So the way I've wired it is that this side here is a 600 ohm input that's connected directly to the line output on the back of the broadcast amp. That would be literally the line output that you connect to a telephone line, because this was originally doing remote broadcasts wherever you've got a phone line. And then this has got a 20 ohm side, which is just connected to a shielded cable which goes straight to a jack into the mic input. and because we go from 600 ohms to 20 ohms, there's a huge voltage step down there, which of course gives us attenuation, but it also lowers the impedance, so there's very little way this line could pick up hum now. And of course, being a transformer, it's actually isolated, so that served its purpose very well. I may yet add an attenuator on the output side just so I can crank this volume up a bit more. But then again, I may not, because I may run the mic channel through a compressor and or a noise gate at some point, and having that extra level there could be handy for that. So yeah, pretty pleased with that. So that's basically what I've done today. It's very late now. Oh look, it's midnight. The doggo shift has just started, and I can actually play this music because it's a local band, so we can actually have it going. There we go. Of course, it's black metal, you know, it's black metal. So there we go. It's playing the doggo shift that I recorded today, and Beltane's new track actually. Winter is coming, so I mean, if you're listening to Radio Fox, then you'd get a sneak preview of it, but you're not going to on this video because I'm going to quit this very soon. But of course I will load this song up to YouTube on March the 19th, which is the release day, so yeah, that'll do. Day 431, it's time to go home. Oh yes, the tape deck has been behaving itself too. It's a new tape deck, I don't know if I showed that. Haven't quite finished doing what I'm doing with that yet, but I've been using it and it's good. Yeah, so we'll turn that off now. There we go. And yeah, definitely time to pack up and go home, so good night.